I want to talk to you about the number one reason why you're losing sales. This is such a simple thing. It's going to blow your mind when I actually explain to you this one key distinction that literally could double, triple, maybe quintuple your sales depending on how bad of a job you've been doing at this one thing. I also want to let you know that it doesn't matter if you're brand new to sales or if you're super experienced in sales. We see even very experienced salespeople make this mistake. So what is this mistake that I'm talking about? It's very simple. It is trying to make two sales at the same time. What do I mean by that? All right, think about it this way. In any sale, for anyone to buy something, there are actually at least two mini sales that must be made in order for that to happen. And the two most important mini sales that must be made in order for any actual sale or transaction to take place are, the first sale is, do I want this? Whatever you're selling is, do I want this? The second sale is, can I afford this? Right? So there's two. Do I want this? And can I afford this? What most salespeople do is they conjoin or intertwine or tangle or wrap together both of those sales into one of, do I want this and can I afford this? And their entire closing process gets messy and meshed together because they'll just say something like, how does that sound? Or does it sound like something that you want to move forward with? And they are interconnecting those two sales. If you want to increase your sales, you need to make one sale at a time. One mini sale at a time will lead to one big sale. But if you try to make both mini sales at a time, you're going to lose the big sale. So what we want to do here is we want to separate out these two different concepts. We first want to make the sale to someone. This doesn't matter what you're selling. It doesn't matter if it's super expensive. It could be like a house. It could be something super small, like trying to get someone to buy a book. We have sold things at all price points and all different geographies and all different industry verticals. We know something about this, and it's so simple, it's easy to overlook. But the first sale that must be made is somebody has to believe and reach the conclusion and articulate that they want the thing. It is an entirely separate, distinct conversation about whether or not they can afford it. My advice for you is, don't even share the price until the first sale is made. Why? Because price is completely independent and an unnecessary component of the decision, do I want something, right? I can want something without knowing what the price is. I can want something knowing full well I can't afford it, right? Like I might want a private jet, but I know I can't afford it, perhaps, right? So you go, there's two decisions here. Do I want it and can I afford it? But in order for them to say yes to the second decision, they need to first say yes to the first decision. If you don't get them to commit and conclude, and most of all, to declare that they want the thing, then what's going to happen is their answer to whether or not they can afford the thing is going to throw shade and confusion, and it's going to cloud whether or not they want the thing. So for a lot of people, the reason they decide they don't want the thing is not actually because they don't want the thing. It's actually because they can't afford the thing. And they let the fact that they can't afford the thing be the thing that drives them to come to the conclusion that they don't want the thing. But that's not actually true. And the only reason that happens is because you've tried to make two sales at once. You instead want to separate these two sales and first get them to decide and declare they want the thing, then deal with introducing the price, and then present the price, and then they can come to the decision about whether or not they can afford the thing. Now, how do you do this? Very, very simple, right? All you have to do is close, meaning ask questions that allow them to come to a decision on their own about whether or not they want the thing before you ask them questions about whether or not they're ready to buy the thing, right? So when you show them something, you can ask them questions like this. You can say, what's your favorite part of what you've seen so far? Does this look like something that would help you? Is this something that you would love to be able to put to use in your life or your business? And when they say yes to that, they haven't said yes to the whole sale, but they have said yes to half of the sale. They have said yes to admitting that they want the thing, which is half of the sale. So that's what you want to do, is ask them questions solely about and in a focused way about the thing that you're trying to sell to them. Ask them, do they like it? Could they see themselves using it? Do they wish they would have had it in the past? Could they think of times in their past where this would have helped them? Ask them, what are their favorite things about them? Why do they like this? How do they think it would help them? How could they see themselves benefiting from this? Those are all questions that lead to answers that codify and help them decide that they want the thing. Then you introduce the price after that. But I don't want to introduce the price before we have locked down and gotten them to commit to the fact that they actually want it. Once they do that, then I can share the price. And, we use price anchoring and a lot of things, price comparison, a lot of other things that we do in presenting the price, which I've talked about in other videos and we teach in other trainings. So I'm not going to cover that now. But then once you present the price, then you can ask them about whether or not they're ready to move forward, which is going to be based on, can they afford it, right? So what I will do is I will close out that second conversation by asking questions more like this. Do you see how having this would be worth it in your business? Do you see how you could recover your investment from this? I might even ask them, how many sales or how much does your life have to improve in order for you to get a return on your investment? And I'm asking questions to help them clarify and codify and decide and declare that it is worth it to them, that it is a valuable investment, that even though it costs something, it's worth more than what it costs. And now when I pair those together, when I first facilitate a process to help them get clear that they want it, and then I couple that with the process that helps them declare that it's actually worth it, now all of a sudden the actual sale, the big sale about do they want to move forward, happens as an automatic byproduct. But if you convolute the conversation by bringing those two decisions together about do they want it and can they afford it, and you try to have that conversation at the same time, you're going to confuse them, you're going to frustrate them, and you're going to let the deciding factor about whether or not they can afford it determine whether or not they want it, versus letting the fact that they want it be enough to convince themselves that they can afford it. Separate those two things, and I promise you'll start seeing an increase in your sales.